start this year. It's a small list, and I find it to be quite amazing that we have here over 400 people and volunteers, nearing almost 500 actually.
Wow.
And there were just 6 of us involved in this event this year. We could sure use some help. So think about that. First of all, Wendy Phoenix, my co-chair. She has a lot of friends. She's been my partner in crime. She's also a new member of the board of the Triumph Cancer Foundation. Paula Plesha. Where's Paula?
Paula has a lot of friends too.
Always been involved, always available to help. Dave and Kim Smith, right over there. Husband and wife duo, awesome, thank you so much. And then our volunteer coordinator was Gina Baldassari, my friend from San Jose, who was kind of like the wizard behind the scenes, who wasn't able to be here tonight, but she coordinated with all our volunteers. So thank you very much. There are a couple other people I want to recognize. First of all, my husband, Paul Almond. I don't know where he is, but there he is, sitting over there. I could not do Triumph without Paul. He is my rock. He helps me with everything. He's my partner at Sage Architecture. He's an amazing person, and I love you. Every year I've talked to Paul about the fact that I wish that somebody from my family could be here. I was born and raised in Massachusetts, and most of my family is on the East Coast, or everywhere but California. Well, this year I do have a family member here. June Whitehead is here. Where's June? She's my sister-in-law. June. My brother went on a fishing trip to Canada, and June said, hey, I'm not doing anything. I'm flying out from Georgia to help Pam and Paul this week. So she's been here since Monday helping out. Thank you, June. I love you. I want to recognize the board of the Triumph Cancer Foundation, Paula Plesha, Wendy Phoenix, Rob Geyer, Skip Rosenblum, Jeff Rowe, Kathleen Olson, and Patty Egan. We're a small group, but we are forging ahead, and we are looking for people to help us. If you find tonight that hearing about what Triumph is all about puts fire in your soul, please contact us, because we do need people who really believe in what we're doing, what our mission is. We're looking for people to help us. I told you a little bit about Triumph Fitness, but there really is no better way to understand what Triumph Fitness means to a survivor than to hear it from someone who's been through the program. So tonight, I'm going to welcome Wendy Phoenix onto the stage. She has been just such a wonderful addition to our board, and she's a wonderful friend, and I'm so happy to welcome Wendy.
Hello, everybody. Hello, my group down there. I brought reinforcements. So, you know, they always say you remember your first time. I remember my first time. August 2010. I was soaping up in the shower, and I felt a lump in my breast, and the bottom fell out of the shower. I called my doctor right away, and they couldn't get me in for 2 weeks, so I went to the first place that could get me in. Translation, I paid cash. And the results came back the next day. Inconclusive, probably nothing of concern, but I should have it checked again. My bottom was temporarily restored. 2 weeks later, time for ultrasound number 2 with my provider. This time, as I watched the technician's face, the bottom fell out a second time. And so began the roller coaster that is cancer. Life was no longer under my control. I had choices, but not choices I wanted to make. My kind of choice is what to drink with dinner, red wine or white wine. Not what kind of mastectomy one breast or two. Every cancer patient has their version of this quandary, and it's tough for everybody. It's tough for the patients, it's tough for the doctors, and it's really tough for the families. And in my case, I had 5 doctors involved. It took them a few weeks to get my plan together, and finally it was decided. First, a double mastectomy. Second, surgery to insert a port in my chest for chemo drugs. Third, 8 chemo treatments with 5 different drugs. 48 radiation treatments. And finally, 5 years of suppressing hormone treatments. And then I had some more choices. Would you like inserts or natural breasts? They said they could make natural breasts out of my stomach fat. Woohoo! This was sounding promising. You mean you're gonna take off my old tired girls, 2 kids, make me perky natural ones and give me a tummy tuck too? So there was a silver lining, maybe, and my bottom rose, just a little. I chose something called transrectus abdominal muscle flap breast reconstruction, commonly referred to as tram flap surgery. They said they would take my stomach muscles, reattach them to my upper chest, and build new breasts out of my stomach fat. That description seems pretty clear. Unfortunately, there was no Google map I could look at and know where I was going, and I wasn't really clear on the potential complications or the complexity of aftercare. It's hard to pick the most memorable event at that time. It might be when all my hair fell out, or it maybe was when I couldn't eat anything at all. I couldn't even get out of my recliner. I lost my toenails. I had 3rd-degree burns all over the side of my body from radiation. But also, maybe it was when I was so weak, I couldn't even lift the remote control to change a TV show that I hated. I was so done. I think the low point was when my 15-year-old daughter, Morgan, found me unconscious on the floor and called 911. I was definitely on the bottom. And I could tell you lots more horror stories about it. It's a wild roller coaster, but my sweet husband, David, told me to skip the gory details and get to the bottom line. What's the bottom line? Cancer sucks.
Yeah.
So how could I ever get my life back before cancer? BC. Somewhere in my stack of papers, I was given a description of the side effect of just one of the chemo drugs. They said it's bone-weary exhaustion that doesn't improve with rest. Nice, huh? And they suggested exercise. And under the cancer recovery section, they also recommend exercise. They say it improves your cardio, makes your muscles stronger, lowers anxiety and depression, and helps you feel better about yourself. My question is, how am I supposed to do that? I'm exhausted. I am so done. And those of you who've had that journey, you know what that means when you're done. Sure, the manual made sense to suggest this, but it didn't lay out the steps I could realistically take to make it happen. I wasn't going to go to a regular gym with 30 people in a class and try to keep up with everybody. I needed my own tribe, but I didn't even know that. If I'd had a heart attack, the doctors would have referred me to a cardiac rehab. If I'd had a stroke, they would maybe send me to speech therapy. Those are all necessary components of post-treatment recovery. But cancer, sadly, doesn't have any program like that. Yes, my doctor referred me to physical therapy. I went twice. The guy didn't even know what a tram flap surgery was, didn't even know I didn't have stomach muscle. I went back and complained to my doctor. But then I got lucky. I was surfing Facebook, and this old friend of mine from 25 years ago, Maria Puente, was talking about this very event. And I remembered that Maria really liked to party. So I thought I better go find out what this party was all about. And I researched it. I made the phone call, and this lovely woman named Paula explained everything to me. She walked me through the multiple class locations, the schedule, and found a class that was just right for me. During my initial examination, a lovely man named Joe, who's also out here somewhere, he did my evaluation and talked to me for an hour about my medical history. He obviously cared about me, and he saw me as an individual with specific needs. He wanted to find out where I could start, and he had even told me he watched a tram flap surgery. He knew more than the PT people. He evaluated my strength, and he made me do a plank. I lasted for 9 seconds. True story. So I started the Triumph Fitness program a few weeks later, and by the time I finished, after 12 weeks of twice-weekly classes, I lasted 3 minutes. Bet most of you can't do that. And that wasn't all. I'd had 8 previous hip surgeries, so my hips got stronger, my balance improved, and most importantly, I felt better about myself. I look forward to the classes and seeing the other participants. They got it. There were no pitying looks about my bald head, just smiles and camaraderie and support. And they also understood the meaning of chemo brain. Nobody else out there? Come on, girls, men, gentlemen, ladies. So I needed 2 more reconstructive surgeries. My surgeon, Dr. Amy Wandell, was impressed with how much quicker I went through this because she could see how much strength I'd gain. And at Triumph, our cancers are all different. In my class, I had Andy with brain cancer and Spencer with lung cancer. There were 8 of us all together. We came in with varying degrees of weakness, but with 3 instructors, we had really individual attention. We all knew what it felt like to hear a cancer diagnosis and to have that bottom fall out. And we all knew the feeling of being out of control, of having ridden that roller coaster, and we all recognized that Triumph was a safe harbor that we desperately needed. Our cancers had cost us physically, emotionally, and even financially. But at Triumph, there's no financial cost to us, and there's a bounty of physical and emotional support. Triumph was there for us 100% of the way. The benefits are real, they're measurable, and they're lasting. And the instructors, the classmates, our shared laughter and tears all helped us find strength. And most importantly, I found my joy again. I said goodbye to that bottom. So I'd like to thank you, Pam, for all that you do. You're a godsend. You do the work of like 12 people. There's no paid staff, only volunteers, and your amazingly supportive husband, Paul, and you guys transform lives. And thank you out there to Joe and Jeff and Tana and all the other instructors who've made a difference in almost 1,000 graduates. Thank you to the board of directors who have the vision to grow this amazing organization, and we need more. And thank you to all the volunteers out there who made this all happen. But most of all, thank you to all you people who are here, because you have an opportunity to support this really transformational and healing program, and you're making the difference in so many people's lives, and you're raising their bottoms. So thank you very much.